What's up, everybody? Welcome to the View from Jamestown podcast edition. This is episode 48. This is the January 2021 episode, and we are sitting down this morning with TCC President Rob Roach, VP of Sales and Marketing AJ Petrarca, and Latin American Operations Manager Javier Fernandez. Good morning, gentlemen. Happy Friday.
Good morning.
Good morning. Happy Friday.
Happy New Year as well.
Happy New Year.
Nice to see all of you in 2021.
Happy last go-to meeting of this week.
Yes.
Yeah, we've been using some go-to meeting minutes this week. That's for sure.
Yeah, we have maximized our subscriptions.
Yeah, nice to good to see you guys. Good to talk to you guys. Hopefully we can get back to an in-person one next month, but doing the best we can here. I've been doing a lot of go-to meeting this week. We're happy to have a inside virtual sales meeting that we did yesterday. So long day on go-to meeting, but had a couple big suppliers on. Had a nice economic presentation from Robert Fry. It was a long day in front of a computer, but I think it was all good information.
Yeah, I was impressed with Robert Fry. He was very good for a consultant. He was very on point and agreed with most of his perspectives.
Yeah, subtle plug. We'll be doing a podcast with him next week too. Should be out by the end of next week or maybe around the same time that this episode releases. So looking forward to having him on. I think we'll have some good insights. It'll be a valuable podcast, especially starting out 2021 to get a preview on what's to come for 2021 in his eyes. So he has a great presentation and look forward to having him on the podcast. But jumping into this episode, this is episode 48. This officially marks year 4 of doing the podcast, which is crazy. Our first one was March 2018. So we're still plugging along. Appreciate you guys for listening, definitely.
If I do the math right, isn't that 3 years? 2018. Oh, no, I guess you'd include the year 2018, 2019, 2020. Now 2020. This is the 4th year that we're doing it. It's not 4 years of doing it.
Correct. Yeah, that's what I meant. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Entering our 4th year.
Entering year 4.
That's good. That's a noble thing. Great job, Ben.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I think every time we start doing an episode, we're like, oh man, we got to record a podcast today. But once we get into the conversation, and it seems like it's been valuable once we get into them. So it's been a lot of fun. Look forward to keeping them going. Have some great guests on this year, and keep the podcast moving along. But this is January. We're in a Q1 of a new year. Got 2020 behind us. What's been the kind of the thoughts and feelings coming into New Year? I know it's been a crazy few weeks so far, or a crazy week so far. A lot of moving parts, a lot of things going on. What are you seeing, Rob? What do you think about the New Year so far?
Jeez, where do you begin? Yeah, I don't know. I think that the thing that's most probably on the top of the list is the fact that coronavirus for us is everywhere. I mean, in the springtime, we heard about it. I didn't know anybody that had it, fortunately, and and then we got towards summer, and you'd hear a little bit about it, but you really didn't know too many people who were getting ill with it or testing positive with it. And then just in the last month or 2 or 6 weeks even, we've had several people within our organizations that have contracted coronavirus. And luckily, most of their symptoms have been very mild for the most part, and some sick for a few days. So knock on wood that it's been mild cases, but it's as you can see, we're here on a podcast where I'm working out of my office, but on the campus here at TCC. You can see Robb and AJ are on the campus. They're part of their own pod, I guess they will. But we're really pushing to get people back next week, which would be the week of January 9th, I believe, or is it the 9th Monday, somewhere around there. But in order to do so, people are going to have to get tested. And the testing for us, luckily, has gotten very good. It's free, it's available, it's easy. We will even have next week, we'll have testing on site here where we can get results pretty quick through some tests that were given to us from the state of Rhode Island. So I think that's been probably the biggest topic for us. But of course, there's a lot of things going on in terms of logistics problems, geopolitical, obviously, political. We're coming up to the Biden inauguration on the 20th. It's 2 weeks away. who knows how we're going to get there and what's going to happen between now and then. But it's been bizarre, to say the least. And but I hope it's a smooth transition. And then, I think another big topic for us is we've seen real pickup in demand, not only in traditional markets that we serve, Europe, U.S., China, other Asia, but also Latin America. Most foreign countries seem to be doing some sort of recovery, and I think that's in anticipation of probably a better foreign policy by the United States. The fact is, the United States and Europe help to raise the rest of the world up, and if we have more of an open heart with a foreign policy, I think that gives confidence to those countries, and that'll have an effect on supply chains, because as they improve and they buy more where they haven't been buying, in a tighter market with a V-shaped recovery after a pandemic, things could get really, really crazy here in the first half and second half of 2021.
Yeah, and flipping it to AJ and Javi too, I know AJ, you're managing a lot of stuff coming in from China and other sales in the States, and obviously Javi managing Latin America, and other regions of the world. I know we've seen delays from China, as well as, I think, as Rob mentioned, a big kind of pickup in demand, which has led to some material tightness. But what are you guys seeing here for the first week or so of 2021?
It's not a fun time to be managing products from China at the moment. It's just a lot of moving parts, a lot of variables. Ocean freight is increasing almost daily. Every offer that we get on ocean freight is subject to time of booking, and a lot of times now, shipments are getting bumped to other vessels and at a higher freight rate. So it's a tough logistics supply chain to juggle right now with all the moving parts. And then that's not to mention, the just raw material increases, which are happening pretty quickly as well. So there's a lot of moving parts at the moment.
Yeah, what I have been noticing is like short validity on quotes. It's amazing. Before we used to get a weekly or a monthly. Now it's just 24 hours, 48 hours, and the raw materials are rapidly increasing. So we gotta force that. And this is not a good message to give the customers, but this is the world we're living in at the moment. Everything is tight. Decisions have to be made quick. You cannot sit around and just think about it too much. You just have to act on it if you want to secure the best price or at least availability. Because right now, some things are not much a matter of price, just who has it. So I think a lot of things are very short, different from different industries. So it's a definitely interesting times.
And obviously, I'm the newest, to the industry of the four of us sitting here. Is this the most variables or the kind of craziest equation, different things going on that you guys have seen in your, however long it's been, 10, 15, 20 years in the industry? Have you seen something like this before, or this many moving parts? What do you guys think about what's currently going on versus some historical, market tightness?
I mean, it's not only the craziest that I've ever seen. I was talking to a guy yesterday who's been in the business for 45 years, and it's the craziest he's ever seen. So I think that this is something like not a lot of people have experienced in the past, just with the, all the different factors that are happening at once.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that I don't think it could get any crazier than this. Than in my 24 years now in the industry. It's got a similar dynamic to the 08-09 recession that we went through and the recovery thereafter. But yeah, we've never seen this type of market destruction and recovery so quickly. On top of this, you throw into all the geopolitical, all the political, I think that just this week, I think that the biggest topic of conversation directly about the chemical industry are some unplanned outages. We've had unplanned outages now at Sasol in South Africa. Ineos is having problems now in Europe. You've got BASF with problems in Europe. Obviously, a fire at LG in Korea. You've got a fully recovered from the pandemic China market, super high demand. And then you've got the government restricting emissions and moving towards a cleaner environment, and really with no concern about supply chains, shutting plants or shuttering them. You also have to consider that with that massive implosion of demand worldwide, plants have had to be scaled back, and plants run healthy at full rates. They don't run healthy at 50%. So now, as the economies of the world recover and demand improves, not only has there been quite a bit of rationalization, but those plants that are, let's call it surviving, they're coming back up to 80, 90, 100% rates, and they've been running at lower rates. There's room for major issues. So I think that's going to be maybe sort of the trend that we start talking about more. Maybe some of those other issues might get corrected here a little bit, and we might stop talking about tweets and things like that, and more about what's happening in reality here, what plan is down, and how that's going to affect the supply chain. I think one of the most shocking things is what AJ mentioned. The cost increases on freight, unbelievable. We're talking 4x, 5x, even 10x increases in freight from China. A lot of the products from China just simply aren't competitive, yet there's no alternative supply. So yeah, crazy times, and definitely going to get a little crazier, I think.
Yeah, I think all that really boils down to the fact that at the simplest form, prices are increasing. January prices, seems like everything increased. February, I think we're already starting to see some indications that things will continue moving up for all those reasons. Outages, which has led to tight supply, material getting more expensive to actually produce, logistics getting more expensive, whether it's raw materials in and out of the plant, ocean freight, whatever the case might be. So I think our outlook is definitely prices moving north for Q1. It seems like that's going to be the trend, at least for the next maybe 60, 90 days. Kind of see no change in that at this point. So yeah, I think overall, as kind of Robb alluded to, we've definitely seen some demand picking up. We had our economist Robert Fry give a presentation yesterday, and it seems like there's a lot of optimism in the U.S. It seems like that's kind of been the trend, which is good. I'm looking for more optimism. What's the overall mood, kind of Latin America, Mexico? Is it as optimistic? Have things been picking up a little bit, or what's kind of been the general feel from things south of the border?
Well, with the election, I think most countries are happy with the way it turned, and things are reactivating the economies, because there's going to be more lending. A lot of social programs are going to get activated and have been activated. And this industry, besides COVID, in some cases, in some countries, is really bad. But the industry is running. It's running, and they're consuming products. They're looking for raw materials. They're looking to supply the domestic markets. And China is, due to the freight that AJ mentioned, is not such a good deal anymore. So people are looking south of the border, looking to Brazil, looking to Mexico, looking to India, looking to Turkey, looking to Russia, looking other places, other geographies which are in common of having imports in Latin America. So it's kind of a new dynamic. And thankfully here at TCC, we have great relationships worldwide. And that has allowed us to be in a good position, because a lot of people just ran to China many years ago, and China was the only option, and they could do it better, cheaper, faster, and now it's not the case anymore. So it's a different dynamic, and we are TCC. We're prepared to do that, and we're happy to be your supplier.
I could have said it better myself. We got to put you on the marketing team, I think.
We are in marketing. We all are in marketing.
Amen.
No, very well put. Yeah, it's been an interesting supply dynamic. Like you said, seeing suppliers playing in these markets that maybe traditionally haven't been there. Definitely, getting calls from people about products that we may not have talked about before, heard about before. So it's definitely a unique time with kind of these new supply channels. One other thing that's affecting certainly China pricing, if not other competitive situations, is the lack of the tariff exemption that we're still seeing not back into place. I think it most greatly affects AJ and his products, primarily including dicyandiamide. That's now non-renewed. That's something that we're keeping an eye on, and seems like it's gonna stick around for a little while. I think is kind of the latest we've heard from our regulatory folks, that it's going to be here to stay. It seems, unfortunately.
Yeah, I guess there's just no update on it, right? Like nobody's talked about it, and there is no update, but it could. I mean, it should be reinstated. I mean, the exemptions were granted for a reason, and it's my feeling that it should be reinstated, but there's no indication that it will be at this point, but we're going to continue to track it closely.
Yeah, obviously we're advocating for it the exemption to go back into place, and it's obviously for the benefit of all our customers. So something we're keeping a close eye on, and hopefully we'll see it re-exempt here sometime soon.
I mean, I feel the tariffs should be eliminated immediately. They need to have more, forethought. They need to be thought out. If there's going to be tariffs, we have duties in place. Duties are in place to even the playing field. So you should go back and look at, the traditional systems and how they're working or not working, rather than have this, blank or total tariff of everything, coming in. So, I have a feeling that they're going to prioritize it, but there's a lot more important priorities right now to fix.
Yeah, I think one last thing to talk about too. It is January. Normally I think weather would be more of a concern and topic here. It's been a relatively mild winter. We had one good storm, I think, so far, but really it's been a pretty slow winter, so logistics haven't been affected too much. But something to keep a close eye on, January, February, even into March. That winter weather, especially if you're in or around New England or rely on supply avenues from this area, something to keep a close eye on, and expect longer lead times, not just due to the logistics tightness, but as winter weather comes and storms affect availability, something that we expect to obviously be a continued issue, something to keep an eye on. I think maybe luckily or unluckily, it's been a pretty mild winter. I'm ready for some snow, but it's definitely helped the logistics avenue, I think.
Yeah, the logistics business right now is a tough one. There's no doubt about it. A lot of product came in prior to the beginning of the year, trying to beat the reintroduction of the tariff on certain products. And, of course, we had the Christmas season, on top of this COVID and, a new variant that's 70% more spreadable, and people getting sick, and, costs, fuel increasing. We're seeing WTI over $50 a barrel, almost $52 a barrel right now. All the signs are pointing towards inflation. We've put a tremendous amount of money out for relief, for COVID relief, printing the money. Our US dollar is upside down against the euro, the pound, many currencies, so it's, there's so many factors, and really, I think the bottom line is that people need to increase inventories, safety stocks, et cetera. And what we saw from Robert Fry yesterday coincides with what we're seeing ourselves, which is people have very low inventories. Demand is increasing, inventories are low, prices are moving up, availability is becoming a concern. Kind of a perfect storm.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a unique supply dynamic. Logistics obviously plays into that. We couldn't recommend more, either bringing in inventories or at least understanding your supply chain, understand where materials coming from and what lead times are doing, really on a weekly basis. I know we've had guys on our team looking for pricing on something. We got a price or a quote 3-4 weeks ago. They said, "Hey, can I still run with that price?" And the answer kind of is no. In a world where stuff was valid for up to a month, now it's really weekly pricing, and stuff's changing really quick for all those reasons, whether it's logistics moving up or down, freight costs moving up, raw materials moving up. It's been a crazy few weeks, and I think we'll continue to be that way for all those reasons we just talked about. But moving to some specific price stuff coming into January, I think the overall mood is everything's moving up. Crude oil is moving up, natural gas has moved up a little bit. A lot of price increases for pretty much all of our products coming into January. We obviously sell a pretty wide variety into a bunch of different verticals, and I think it's rare to see everything uniformly moving up. Usually there's maybe increases here or there, but I think that the overall mood for pricing coming into January is everything's up. It seems fair with what's going on.
Yeah, I'd say everything's up, but on Javi's vein of promoting TCC, we can take positions for you. We have the ability, the leverage, the supply. We have the strength, the financial strength to take a position for you to get product into inventory for you. And I gotta say, I don't know where we would be, our customer service team, without the logistics company, which is an outside resource on logistics for us, managing this for us. The amount of money we have saved by having that team in place to manage our rail fleet, to manage our drayage out of the ports, liquid bulk, dry bulk. They've done a fantastic job, saved us a tremendous amount of money. Our customer service is now focused on the health and responsibility and paperwork of all the transactions. They don't have to worry about the logistics piece. And it has really just boiled down to a better bottom line for TCC using this outside resource. So people need help right now. So TCC, that's why we're set up the way we are. We can help you with bringing in inventories, securing your supply chain. And the logistics company is there for managing your freight, keeping your rail cars moving, keeping them full, keeping them delivering, and keeping, you know, the product flowing out of the ports, liquid bulk, dry bulk, LTL. It's been, you know, we're lucky to have the resources that we have in this time.
Yeah, definitely it's played a big role in making freight easier to manage, you know, maybe some cost savings on freight. And, you know, I know TLC and the guys over there are more than happy to talk to anybody out there about any avenue of logistics. And I know they're happy to give their opinion and provide their services to you. But I mean, on the pricing front, you know, with raw materials and stuff moving up, Javier, I was going to ask you, are you seeing similar things in Mexico and Latin America? How are all these new supply avenues coming in, places that may not have traditionally supplied places like Mexico and Venezuela and other places? Has that moved pricing upwards? Has it kept pricing pretty flat where it should be moving up, or what are you seeing on the pricing front?
Things are moving up across the board, and now with different geographies, there are not so much common lines of logistics. You know, coming from there's not a line coming from St. Petersburg, Russia to Mexico, so it has to do a lot of stops. That's going to Rotterdam and then come down. So it's definitely more expensive. Freight is not as expensive as 10x as China prices, but it's double. You know, it's at least double, and longer lead times. I'm telling everybody, it used to be 6 to 8. I'm telling now 11 weeks. You know, 12 weeks. Everything is backed up. So I'm padding my imports to 11 weeks. That's what I'm doing lately. And as Rob mentioned, we have to increase the security stock because you're talking about 3 months almost from order date to delivery date. They have to have at least 4 months, 3 months of security stock. So yeah, but things are definitely increasing, and it's pretty interesting to move those chemicals around the world. It's pretty exciting. I think we're pretty lucky. We have a good gig going on, and we're set up to good things. So I'm very happy. I'm just happy to work and do what I do. I enjoy it. I enjoy it very much.
That's the most positive spin on price increases and lead times extending that I've ever heard.
Yeah, he better enjoy it. He just bought a big new house for his family, so you know. We got Daddy Warbucks over there, so it's like he hit the Powerball, right, Ben?
Yeah, thank you for telling us. You know, we would have came to the party, taken a picture. I want to see a picture of the big check.
Yeah, I didn't get a Powerball. I didn't get a Powerball.
Every day I get pictures of new purchases. His big new shiny grill, house. I thought we were going to
the consumer index just rose thanks to Javi, you know. Everything's getting tighter because Javi's buying it all up.
Yeah, but in reality, you know, congratulations on the purchases. You know, primarily the house, but you know, the new grill's also exciting. You know, been an exciting week in the Fernandez household for sure.
Yeah, it has been a cool 2020. I mean, we became parents, life changing. So it's Joaquin has been. I'm learning every day. It's just amazing. Just amazing part of life that we're going through now. So very excited.
That was the feel good section of the podcast here. Back to products.
The prices are going up and there's no relief in sight.
Yeah, get your products now. Call me, send me a WhatsApp. Just secure supply. I mean, this secure supply, we mention every time, but it has never been such important as now. Security of supply and having solid logistics. I mean, it's a combination. It's a lot of moving parts, but it's challenging for some companies, but we're in good position. We have the relationships, so TCC is the way to go.
Yeah, I think to continue again on the vein of the TCC infomercial, but we've got in-house environmental health and safety. We've got in-house logistics company working full time on our behalf. We've got in-house legal to get documents and to get contracts in place quickly. We just had an emergency order come in this week for somebody who needed something the next day. They weren't even set up in our system. In 12 hours, we got them set up in our system, the product shipped and delivered. And go ahead and try that with just about any other distribution company. I mean, just getting the credit and getting set up in the system can take a week or two. So that's one of the things that we really pride ourselves at TCC about, is the fact that we can do things quickly, but do them also correctly. And that's why we've built the infrastructure of great customer service with knowledgeable people that know what they're doing, great logistics, great environmental health and safety to protect us and everyone in the world from the products that we're moving every day. So and a great financial backbone. We're not focused on merging, acquiring, getting sold, buying. We're focused on bringing good products and securing the supply chain to our customers. And that's relatively uncommon in the industry right now, wouldn't you say? I mean, everybody's focused on financial engineering. They're not so focused on bringing value to their customers.
I usually say, I have an analogy, like usually big companies are those big cargo ships. TCC, we're like a jet ski. We can react fast. We can move faster. I usually explain that way. Like, how do you describe your companies? Like, I mean, we do things the right way. We have legal, logistics, and all the things you mentioned, but we're quick to react. We're quick to react, take a position. So that's why I explain it. We're in a jet ski instead of those big cargo ships that they take forever to turn. We're in a jet ski like Ben in the summer.
I like that.
Javier, I've known you 4 years. That's the first time I've heard that analogy. So I don't know where that just came from, but I like it.
No, I asked Angela. I mentioned it a lot. We're a jet ski.
I'll have to put a big TCC logo on the side of my jet ski this summer, maybe. But yeah, I think it all goes back to security of supply. I think security of supply isn't just having material sitting on your floor. Okay, my supply is secured. It's understanding the supply chain, understanding what's changing, what's going on in the market. I think the best thing that purchasing managers, supply chain managers can do is have conversations. Whether it's us or whoever your supplier is. I know we're more than happy to talk about why pricing is moving up, why pricing is coming down, why lead times are getting longer. Understand all the dynamics that are going on and just know what's coming is I think a big part of security supply. A big thing that we try to do, whether it's listening to this podcast or email newsletters or sales meetings with your individual sales reps. Understand what's going on. Be tuned into the market. It's not just about having material on the floor. It's about understanding what's going on and what's coming, whether it's this month, this quarter. It's all important information. You can't have enough information and understanding what's going on. So definitely something we pride ourselves in, and hopefully provides a benefit.
I think right now it's pretty evident that you need to have balance in your supply chain. You can't be dependent on one supplier all the time. If you are, you might get caught with an outage or a shutdown. And I think that, really Javi's overall point is that the work that we've done pre-COVID, traveling worldwide, getting connections worldwide in all of the theaters, Europe, Middle East, Asia, other Asia, even Africa, Latin America, these connections that we have with the sort of implosion of cheap, really super cheap product from China is proving extremely valuable to our customer base, and I think it will continue to do so. And I think the real letdown, just in terms of our business with COVID, is the fact that we haven't been able to get out and be with people, which we're really looking forward to, hopefully with the vaccine rollout and getting back to our traditional roles where we can get on a plane and travel and visit with our friends and spend time and create those relationships that are proving invaluable right now.
Yeah, and this all ties in nicely too to what we have listed as our featured product, or the biggest product to talk about, and it's really the line of packaged product, really specifically plasticizers that we've really grown into doing. Whether it's to supply some of our LTL customers who use a couple drums or a couple totes a month, or our big bulk customers having this inventory of plasticizers. So if things get tight, if logistics get tight, we can at least give you a couple totes, couple drums to tie you over until that bulk truckload can get there. It's I think become a growing part of our business, something that has been important to all four of us, something we've all really worked pretty closely on, and it's something that we're proud to offer more of these packaged plasticizers and products overall. It's become a bigger part of our business, and really I think lends a hand to security of supply for our customers and business partners.
Absolutely. I think that we're, as far as plasticizers or esters in general, we're a powerhouse. We have such a wide variety of options. You talk about phthalates, adipates, trimeletates, sebacates, citrates, goes on and on and on. We've really done a good job of securing excellent supply for many of the different varieties of plasticizers. We got some exciting news coming out in the future with new additions to our ester line, ones that can improve the performance of, say, like a product like DOTP or DINCH, which have different issues and different applications. There is the phthalate issue, but right now DINP is the lowest price plasticizer. With 2EH prices going up, you're seeing extreme price moves and things like DOTP, which everybody's been trying to become a DOTP house in terms of using this as a plasticizer. 2EH is a very variable price, alcohol versus something that's a little more traditional in INA, which is, really mainly for esters. So yeah, I would say that the packaged is just another integration for us, and it's given us the ability to have, whether it's commodity or general purpose plasticizers to specialty plasticizers available to our customers for LTL in case of an emergency, which we're seeing more and more of. We ship totes, we ship drums. We keep this product in stock, again, in the vein of security of supply. It's available, we have it. So I think you're right. It's been a kind of a passion for the four of us, and it's nice to see it really growing and catalyzing a really nice business.
Yeah, and it's not just bringing in a container of totes and sitting on a floor somewhere. It's kind of a full spectrum of packaging material, whether it is bringing in a container of packaged material. We have resources to do our own packaging, picking up a bulk truckload and do our own split load of drums and totes. Some custom blending stuff that we're starting to work on and look at more, and some exciting new products, whether it's the most basic chemical that we sell, or things that are very hazardous and very dangerous. We've been managing the full spectrum of packaged products, and have some, I think, exciting stuff coming out this year, further along that lines. So looking forward to doing that and pushing that more this year. Events, conferences, trade shows, still a pretty quiet section, unfortunately. We are participating in class. What'd you say? That's how I feel about that. It's sad. I miss trade shows. I miss conferences. I miss traveling. Especially the four of us. I think we're at more shows than a lot of people. This 2 years ago. Myself and AJ included. I know, setting up booths and traveling and going to different shows. We miss it.
I talked to a guy yesterday out of Florida, and he's used to his normal winter influx of all us northerners trying to come down and do sales calls down there, and he has no visitors this year. He feels kind of lonely down there. But yeah, I'm missing traveling.
We should go visit. It was interesting. I think I sent something to Ben this morning that in Florida, a big trade show there is the Surf Expo with surfing and sunblocks, and it's actually happening. I think it's next week. They're having the trade show is happening in Florida. So I think there's hope on the horizon. I think it's going to be 6 or 9 months. Also, big news: the NPE was canceled. Maybe you have the details on that, Ben, but that's a show massive show every 3 years. We haven't been able to go to AFPM last year. Doesn't look like we're going to be able to go to AFPM till maybe May of this year if it happens. So it's tough. It's tough, but we've been doing a good job of doing the quarterly sales meetings, inviting our producing partners and our customers and sharing information, doing the best that we can. A lot of Zoom and go-to fatigue, but this is the reality we're living in.
Yeah, the NPE announcement, obviously canceling the in-person factor to NPE was a big announcement, definitely. I'm proud and excited to be on the marketing committee for the NPE, kind of advising with, our 2 cents on things. And, up until just a couple weeks ago, the mood was they were 100% going forward with the in-person show, excited for it and taking all the proper precautions. So definitely a big announcement that they were, canceling their show. And I think we'll sort of set the tone for 2021 trade shows, at least for the first half of the year. I think we'll see some shows maybe getting kind of creative, whether it's more virtual shows, maybe, in some of these warmer climates, more outdoor shows, maybe it's something that has more of an outdoor aspect to it if you can, things like AFPM and meetings, you can obviously have a lot of outdoor dinners and lunches and things like that. Maybe we'll see some pseudo outdoor trade show booths and things like that, but I think the industry will get creative. I think everyone's ready for trade shows and conferences to come back. It's obviously a big part of the chemical industry in our business. So I know we're all ready to get back to them. We do have the plastics organization hosting a virtual vinyl compounders conference. I think it's February 3rd. TCC is proud to be a conference sponsor for that one. Should be I think it's only an afternoon of maybe 4 or 5 hour long presentations. They always put a good roster together of speakers. So we're excited for that one. And I think excited to get back to traveling. Javi's usually the big globetrotter, so I'm sure Javi's ready to get back on a plane and get back to his first class seats.
No, I fly next to the bathroom.
I've seen your frequent flyer card. That's incorrect. That is not where you sit on planes.
Why are you speaking of me? What did I do today? What's the new mood? The new mood is 2021. Picking on Javi.
You make it easy. You make it easy. Usually it's me, so I'm glad it's someone else today. But no, I think wrapping things up, it's been a crazy 2020. We appreciate everyone listening and are excited for a stronger and hopefully more stable 2021. As we mentioned, we do have our podcast coming out with Robert Fry. We're recording that on Tuesday, so it should be out by the end of next week. He, as Rob mentioned, did a great job in his presentation. I think we'll have some valuable insight and outlook on the year coming. Obviously very specific to our business and industries that we focus on, so it should be some great information. And we'll obviously send that out via email and social media once that's ready to go. Once again, want to just say congratulations to Javi and Angela on the house and some big moves. I know definitely been a bright spot for 2020 with some people within TCC buying houses and doing things like that. So, really make some of those bright spots stand out. And yeah, we're excited for a great 2021, hopefully.
Thank you, Ben.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Good talking to you. Look forward to seeing you all in person here soon. And, we'll catch you on the next episode.
Thanks, guys.
You.